What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Blood Incantation, entitled Hidden History of the Human Race. This is released on Dark Descent Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Denver, Colorado, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very technical, atmospheric, Anunnaki-influenced style of death metal. Yeah. I think it's pretty safe to say that Blood Incantation are an absolutely huge fucking deal in the world of extreme metal right now, because it's crazy to see how far this band has come along, where they're at now, and where they're possibly going to be in the future. It's just absolutely nuts. My first introduction to this band was their 2015 debut EP entitled Interdimensional Extinction. That was some seriously awesome stuff. I really enjoyed what that band did with their style of death metal, in terms of the riffs, in terms of lyrics, in terms of usage of artwork. It was just an overall incredible package. Of course, this led me on to hear more of this band's previous dealings, which included some really top-notch demos and a split with a band that has also members from Blood Incantation, Spectral Voice. Really, really great stuff, but it wasn't until I had the honor and privilege to get to see this band play live. I really got to see how big of a deal Blood Incantation were, and they absolutely sounded amazing. They sounded just like they do on their records. They're just as entertaining. They're just as dedicated and passionate to their craft. And then in 2016, we got their very first full-length album in Starspawn. That was a pure amalgamation of everything that band had ever done, put into a very, very strong full-length album. A lot of memorable songs, a lot of memorable riffs. I mean, Vitrification of Blood is an absolutely phenomenal song in all of its forms, especially if you've ever seen them play the song live. Of course, we got that live Vitrification release that shows them playing that song live in full. Absolutely brilliant, absolutely top-notch. And like I said, this band has been on a roller coaster ride ever since then, playing live shows, touring across the country, just making a name for themselves, just becoming an even bigger deal than ever before. When I found out that there was going to be some brand new music from Blood Incantation coming in 2019, I was very excited. And of course, getting to hear some of this new material being played live when I saw them with Morbid Angel and Cannibal Corpse not too long ago, I was very hyped up. Excuse me. I was very hyped up, I was very excited, and I love what I had heard. But with Hidden History of the Human Race slowly approaching, I was looking forward to seeing and hearing how far they were going to take their sound and how deeper they were going to delve this time around. And now we have the second full-length from Blood Incantation entitled Hidden History of the Human Race. It's scheduled to be released on November the 22nd, but I have a surprise early review for you guys. It's only 4 tracks, and it clocks in at around 36 minutes in length, and pretty much I feel like this is the proverbial next step that Blood Incantation needed to take with their sound. Because what you heard on Starspawn is nothing in comparison to what you're going to hear on Hidden History of the Human Race. It is just a tour de force in every sense of the word. In terms of production quality, in terms of musicianship, in terms of sound and execution, it's just an absolute amazing album to listen to all the way through. This is something that bears repeated listens over and over again, and I definitely think if you loved Starspawn, you're probably going to love this one a hell of a lot more. Like previous Blood Incantation releases, the thing that makes this stand out so much is the fact that these guys know exactly what they're doing when it comes to playing their music and how they execute things. In terms of riffs, in terms of solos, in terms of bass sounds, it's just absolutely incredible. I mean, the minute you hear the opening track of Slave Species to the Gods, it's just oomph, right there. it just gets you, grabs you by the throat, never lets you go, and that's the type of idea that you're gonna get when you listen, when you first put this album on to listen to it. Just a lot of passion, intensity, and craziness throughout the majority of that song. And then, of course, leading to the next several tracks down with the Giza power plant. A lot of really awesome technical moments on that track. A lot of spacey, progressive sort of stuff being played throughout that track. And then you get to a song like Inner Paths to Outer Space, which in turn feels mostly loosely like an instrumental track, but it really gives you a glimpse of what type of musicianship and efforts this band has. But then you get to the big, meaty second half of this album, that being the last track on here, Awakening from the Dream of Existence to the Multidimensional Nature of Our Reality, Mirror of the Soul. Holy shit. What a song title. And what a song itself. It is just absolutely bonkers. I definitely feel like this is going to get its second version. I feel like if Blood Incantation were to do a second live vitrification, it would be that song. Because that song is an absolute crazy, crazy song. And the fact that they had the balls to play this live, uninterrupted, during their tour with Immolation was just fucking sick. That song sounded great live. But on record, I definitely think it sounds even more phenomenal. But like I said, the musicianship is very top-notch here. The riffs are very, very awesome. The guitar work is very intricate and very well planned out. A lot of technicality, a lot of progressiveness, a lot of classic metal vibes going on here throughout those riffs. The bass work on here is very clear and audible, very good presentation, very well executed. The drumming on here is sensational. I cannot stress enough how good this drum performance is, and I really, really love the fact that there is a lot of things to take away from this drum performance, whether it's fast-paced, whether it's mid-paced, whether it gets to become a little more clean and progressive. You get some really great moments here with this drum performance, and once again, going to the final track of this album where you get the most stamina out of this drummer, it is just so, 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 so perfect. And when it comes to the vocals sound incredible. I love the vocal variations. I love the deep bellowing growls. I love the parts where it begins to veer off into more spoken word sort of territories, which I think works very well in this band's style and approach. Once again, going to the final track of this album, you definitely get one of the better vocal performances of this entire album. And on the track Inner Paths to Outer Space, you do get the spoken word parts in here and there, but you also get a little bit of a surprise in the form of Antti Bowman from Demolek. You hear his vocal growls towards the very, very end of that track, which I think is a really, really nice touch and something special to bring this album more in line with the spacey alien sort of themes going on here. But as far as the actual vocals of this album are concerned, absolutely top-notch. Love the variations, love the varieties, love the just how entertaining this vocal performance is. It is just absolutely phenomenal. So, overall, this is definitely the next step Blood Incantation needed to take with their sound, and I think with Hidden History of the Human Race, it really is proof why Blood Incantation are so revered and so well established right now. And it's only going to get bigger and better from here. So if you are a fan of Starspawn or this band's previous material, I think you're going to love Hidden History of the Human Race. Definitely, if not for how amazing the final track of this album is, it is definitely something that needs to heard to be believed and seen to be believed if you happen to see them live. It is just a fucking phenomenal album. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description boxes now you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the track Inner Paths to Outer Space, which I believe is currently streaming on YouTube. And you can also pre-order this album right now. To the best of my knowledge, it is available physically as a CD, cassette tape, and a 12-inch vinyl. Of course, when the original pre-orders were announced, the Dark Descent web store crashed, which I knew was going to happen, but anyway, things ended up working out for the best. There were some color variations, but I believe all of them sold out. I bought my copy through Bandcamp, but I still believe there are copies available as far as a physical full-length album, physical vinyl is concerned. Dark Descent is handling the US distribution, and Century Media is handling international distribution, so definitely pick up a copy however you're able to. And of course, if you happen to see this band play live, definitely go check them out. Of course, they did the recent stint with Immolation, and it was an absolutely phenomenal tour to see, and you should definitely be supporting both of those bands. So again, the album is Hidden History of the Human Race. This is set to be released on November the 22nd through Dark Descent Records. This is mandatory purchasing. And for a score, I'm going to give this the highest score I can possibly give, and that is a perfect 10 out of 10. I couldn't give this anything higher than a 10. I could give it a fucking 11 out of 10, because it's a fucking great, great album. This is definitely one of the best albums of 2019. So if you happen to have heard this album, if you are excited for this album, definitely let me know what you're thinking about it, how you feel about it, and if you happen to have heard any of these new songs played live, let me know how you're feeling about it, or any of you guys into Blood Incantation. Definitely let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Army Hell out.